This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we are getting evil with Dimir Control. This list was originally played by Hall of Famer, Pride of French MTG, absolute tournament smashing Lord of the Gandalfs, Gabriel Nassif, who is also a very popular Twitch streamer. So check out Gabriel Nassif and watch him play control decks for around 1,000 viewers. And yeah, blue-black, going with Dimir. Shut it down. Shut the OMNATH down. Don't let it resolve. I've definitely modified it a lot to my taste. There's probably like about 10, maybe like 8 cards at least different for the main, and I added a wish board and a one of Fae of Wishes for the win con assist in best of one. So there's some differences here, and the main thing that you need to know about this deck is that it runs 17 land. But does it? No, actually 20, 24, 28, 30, 32. Stop, CGB, he's already dead. 32 potential mana sources. With the help of the Zendikar Rising double-faced cards, DFCs, you have Jawari Disruption, which is my head's in the way, don't worry about it. Which is a counter... My head's still in the way, don't worry about it. Which is a pay 1 counter spell on the flip side. The Selendii Vision is a dig 6, grab an instant or sorcery on the flip side. The Predation, Pelaka Predation, is a reveal your hand, I'll take a 3 or greater, and you'll discard it on the flip side. And Hagra Mauling, a murder. Just 4 mana, destroy target creature on the flip side. Don't worry about that thing about basic lands making this cheaper. That never actually happens. So, all that land / spell utility means it's harder to flood out, and it means that we have more resources to fight our opponent. The key resources to fighting the OMNATH deck are, of course, counter spells like 4 Essence Scatter, 3 Negates, and 4 Neutralize. Just shut them down. Shut it all down. And there's more. In the sideboard, you can Fae of Wishes for all kinds of stuff that we'll get to. Cling to Dust. Exile 5 other cards from your graveyard. This keeps the graveyard closed for rogues and keeps Uro from outvaluing you. Actual win cons: Uno Shark Typhuno and a Gadwick, which not really a win con, more of a gas up the jet card. Ashiok Nightmare Muse. 1 Crawling Barrens. You can charge this up for 4 mana a turn cycle and make this thing huge, and then attack your opponent for lethal when you feel like you've got enough juice. So a really sweet card for closing out the game, just a one of again. So this is a deck that's going to require patience. One of the interesting things is that you'll see that there's no way in the deck to shuffle the deck. So with the help of cards like Mazemind Tome and cards like Selendii Vision, you eventually have an idea of what's on the bottom and where each piece is. So that helps you find and set up your win con. The win con, quite honestly, is that you use Seagate Restoration. You saw this in my blue-white deck. It does get cast in this deck. You do get no max hand size. You do put most of your deck into your hand and then counter everything they do for a few turns while setting up and winning the game. And for best of one of the big adjustments I did was really raise the sweeper count. Extinction Event, you know, but Shadow's Verdict is one that is interesting and I think is good in this deck because we don't rely on our graveyard having creatures or any creatures of our own. So we aren't an Uro deck. Shadow's Verdict is mostly upside, and it is good when the opponent goes wide with a variety of casting cost cards that Extinction Event can't always solve. Smart opponents these days play around this card, but this card people are walking right into left and right. So very good. I also have cut most of the spot removal. You'll see that there's only 1 easy prey in here for just reach out and kill that thing on the board, aside from the lands that are also spells. And that's because it's best of one. Like, it's sweepers versus creatures, or it's counters versus OMNATH. That's really what the format is about at the moment. So that's what we do. I love that there's 4 Maze Mind Tomes. This card is fun to play with for Control Mage. Sideboard has a bunch of stuff that you can guess what it's for. Crypt, Miscast, Thirst can hit creatures on the cheap or Planeswalkers, Duress, Negate, Epic Downfall. Plenty of things need exiling these days. Feed the Swarm can hit an enchantment. Not something that we get access to all that often, to be honest. Drown in the Lock can be a counter spell. Mystical Dispute's a counter. I'm not above milling them. If this is what it takes, I will tutelage the F out of you. A Eat to Extinction to kind of get another Bloodchief's Thirst effect to fetch. Another Shark Typhoon. A Seagate Restoration. So it's a land that you can fetch, but it also is the land that lets you draw a million cards. And Ugin and Erebos' Intervention for life gain. So I've introduced a lot with the deck. Really, you just want to see it in action. Let the very evil stuff come out. But before I do, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor in that corner, CoolStuffInc.com. Promo code CGB5, Zendikar shortages all over the place. So get on there, place your pre-orders and your orders. Zendikar Rising, get it today. Use promo code CGB5, get yourself a discount. And thank you very much. It supports the channel in such a way that they will continue sponsoring me if people use that code. And they've sponsored me for just over a year now, and it's greatly appreciated. Thank you to everybody who's done the code thing. You're cool. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. What a hand. Shuffler. Hopefully Extinction Event is good here. It better be. It better be. Ooh, baby. I need to make sure I curve into Extinction Event Shadow's Verdict. So, against Mono Red, you don't get a lot of time to resolve these kind of spells anyway. So, getting them on the field seems like the good move. I've so far lost every game with Mono Red, and it's because I've had all tapped lands on the draw, no sweeper. So this might be the vengeance moment with Mono Red. Because if there's one thing I can't stand, it's a deck that doesn't beat Mono Red. Take the mauling. Now if the opponent goes for Embercleave, we can maul. And if they don't, we can Shadow's Verdict. No action for that turn cycle. Alright, let's maul. If the opponent Embercleaves over here, we'll just exile it and then they have no board, and that's fine. Should have done this before combat though, then they wouldn't even have the option to Embercleave. And we do that even though the Verdict is coming because we want them to play more creatures now. Like that. Well, now Extinction Event covers them really well. So I'm tempted to hang on to Verdict, but Verdict is more mana efficient. They will probably set up a board in the future, though, that's harder to use Extinction Event on, so we're going with the event. We'll go with blue mana. No particular reason. There might be a world where I need to neutralize and play something else. Essence Scatter. Bone Crusher's here. We can send it back with the Ashiok, but then the Bone Crusher just shoots down the Ashiok, which is pretty bad. We could make a 2-3, but then the opponent can Embercleave the Bone Crusher. Let's just exile it. Or let's say go and take one hit and see what they do. Their history, though, has shown us that they plan to... what? That they'll just hit us and say go. I guess that's fine. We can cycle the neutralizes if that's the case. Improve our hand. I'm going to just cycle this now and see if they bite. Thinking I don't have another. They bit. They bit. Nice. They probably have another one. I'm really tempted to send this back with the Ashiok, make them exile a card, then spend next turn replaying the Giant, but that doesn't get us anywhere. We'll just use a Mauling here. Okay, a Torbran. So we maul the Giant, and then we event the Torbran. Hopefully they don't have a shock. Puts us in quite the bind. Alright. I could also go get Drown in the Lock, which I guess that's better, because we get to use the granted side of Fae. There's also Epic Downfall to exile it, which just makes sure it's gone. Play this tapped, play the Fae of Wishes, exile the Torbran. It's all about position. I'm trying to get Ashiok to where Ashiok can plus and really start taking over the game. Position, position, position. You know the opponents like Cleaves and Torbrans because they're playing all these haymakers, none of their small creatures. Another Giant. So frustrating. It does feel like there's another Embercleave. So maybe I'm supposed to Verdict? Which is nasty. Let's see, 10 minus, this would be 7, so we'd take 3 if the opponent takes next turn to Embercleave. I think I take that risk.
Come, create like are delightfully friendly.
I do need cards. I'm running out of cards. The opponent somehow still has a lot more cards than I do. And it gains life. Ooh, Fire Prophecy. Oh no. Oh no. And they don't even cycle a card, so they've got another Cleave. They top deck the land, or they would have cycled that. So what's the other card? If it's a Rimrock Knight, I think we're just dead. Shock for the win. No. Alright, we'll play the Verdict. Exile the Bonecrusher Giant. We will minus the Ashiok, bounce the Embercleave. Play the Tome. Don't die. To another Bonecrusher Giant. They've drawn so many. It's so mean. It's so mean. I'm sure that I deserved... I'm sure I made a... I messed up somewhere. I should have just verdicted something, a 1-for-1, a long time ago. I set myself into much of an awkward spot. Ugh. Nice little 3-lander with plenty of removal spells. Let's do it. I'm also going to try hanging on to this in case I draw into more land and I can cast it as a spell. And here we go, more rogues. Everybody loves it. I think we just take hits from these things. I've tried fighting these things before, and trying to keep my graveyard empty against them really doesn't work. So I just have to let some of the small things go, sweep them up, and then manage the bigger things. Scry, that won't matter. I mean, do I want... I guess if I'm going to put stuff in my graveyard, it should be another instant. So that the Nighthawk Scavenger doesn't get his buff. I wouldn't say I found the perfect way to play against rogues as a control deck. I'm definitely still fumbling through these things a lot. I don't want to tap out against them, I don't think. So you can enter the battlefield tapped. If I keep them slow and get to the point where I have a lot of mana, I usually feel like I can battle them because they can't run that many lands and they don't have as much card advantage. But fighting over their cheap creatures has seemed like a trap to me. Alright, let's go for a vision. I'd probably let this resolve. What do we want to show them? We already have a negate. I guess an Essence Scatter is very good. Neutralize is all-purpose, but it's expensive. And we play this as a land. Never miss a land drop. What are we on, 4? This thing can't cycle yet. And if the opponent's going to play this slow, we should be happy to. The more resources we get, I think the better off we are. Could use this again or use it to hit a land drop. Let's use it. Alright, they play a thief. They can protect it now, so I'm sure that's part of it. I should probably take something that can double as a land. I can have Heartless Act, Essence Scatter, and negate this turn. I don't want to take 3 for it, though. The tempo of that is too bad, and I only have to absolutely deal with the Soaring Thought Thief. So let's grab a Mauling. We'll play it as a land if we don't draw one. Alright. Alright, before combat, we're going to fight the war over the Thought Thief. Gonna go for the neutralize because more mana efficient. I might get blown out by the Censor card. Nice. Alright, so they're still going to get this trigger. That's frustrating. But now we can play the event and get rid of the other thief. And we're still dealing with a 1/1. It's an annoying 1/1 to be sure, but it's still a 1/1. I know, how about you mill over a Cling to Dust for me? Not my Gadwick, a Cling to Dust. Alright, we're starting to flood. We've hit several lands in a row after playing some... makes me a little unhappy, as you can tell. Probably gets countered. Nope.
Close your eyes and dream of me.
Brazen Borrows, perhaps? Oh, bouncing this. And they tapped wrong, so they can't replay it? That's fine. I was thinking about countering it if it targeted the token, but with that targeting and with this tapping, they can't replay it this turn, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, they're having a moment of, oh. So, it held up double black for something. Should be a clue to what's in their hand if I can figure it out. Oh, that's good. We don't have to relaunch Ashiok now. See how you like cards from the top of your deck disappearing. Scavenger. Nope. Fight that. Hope they don't rankle. I know I've been saying that a lot in these videos. Rankle's proven to be quite the house in recent days. Wow, nothing. Ooh. Hello. Alright, we want to keep the cards coming from the tome. They know about the Ashiok. Making a shark is good and is not a bad ambush, but they'll just end up shooting it. Let's try to keep them busy with Ashiok. That, or we just use tome. You know what? If they're not going to do anything, I don't have to do anything. You're not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. Grasp of Darkness? Sure. That's what was holding up double black. Huh. Grasp of Darkness. Not one I've seen too much of. Can't easy prey it. We can make a shark and try to fight with negate. Alright, let's try for a 2/2 shark. I think it's going to die, but we'll at least fight with a negate, and we'll get to draw with tome. Plus we can potentially eat the Wind Robber. We do have the opponent down to 3 more resources. There's Grasp, here's negate. If they're running a lot of Grasp, they only have 1 more black source. So if they have like a 3rd Grasp, they can't play it here. Good, good. Try to eat the Wind Robber. Opponent can draw a card, but we get it off the board. Which I think is better, because we can try to trade with the Borrower next turn. Remember the tome gains 4 life, so as our life total is dwindling, we're trying to get to a point where this tome can give us a nice little boost. Ooh, there's a Cling. Cling's a bit overdue, but I'm glad to see it. We definitely want to work on emptying our graveyard pretty much as soon as possible. Let's see. We can gain life, we can draw cards. It'll be fun. You're gonna love it. So, since we're going to be dumping mana into Cling for a few turns, Ashiok can chill. Patience is the win con. No attack. Let's take our card, see what it is. Shadow's Verdict. Alright, let's start emptying graveyards. I target the spells to draw more cards. Shadow's Verdict will exile the creatures. Oh yeah. It's getting good. It's getting real good. Let's take our draw and see if we hit on a land, and if not, we'll play the Vision tapped. Never miss a land drop. Okay. What's better here, the Vision or the Predation? I think it's the Predation. I know it will hit something. I believe it. And do we play it? 1, 2, 3. We still have 4 mana left over. I think that's fine. There is a chance they don't have any cards with converted mana cost 3 or greater. Sublime Epiphany. That's called going for it. No, we have to fight this. Don't have a drown in the lock too. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Okay, Heartless Act. I can live with this. Sublime freaking Epiphany. And now they're down to a swamp. We have exhausted their resources. So now we just have to make sure we don't die and clean up. Let's see what the tome reveals. Okay. Exile everything. Clean up some graveyard too. Or we can just play this. Name odd. Have 4 mana. Cling. The dissecting of the rogue strategy. A guide, if you will. It doesn't have an ETB, so it's a good card to use Verdict on. Cards that do something when they enter the battlefield are much better to hit with various counters. So that they never get those enter the battlefield effects. Yeah, there's a creature. Just trying to make the... There's an enchantment. Trying to make the scavenger a little smaller. So what do we need? We need our Baron. I guess we can win with the Ashiok easy enough. We're still going to wait until we can absolutely protect Ashiok. That graveyard is slowly shrinking. 3 straight pathways. It's fine. What to fetch? Ugin? I think I like the Typhoon. They can't really do anything about it except for play Brazen Borrower. Boa Constrictor doing constriction. 5/5 Shark plus an Ashiok. Makes Ashiok look a lot better.
Come, create. All your fears are given form.
The trickster, huh? We can maul him. He can't even get through the sharks right now. Thieves Guild Enforcer, that has an ETB. Let's Essence Scatter. And that's the game. Dragging the rogues into deep water. The shark-infested waters. Land, land, land. Tome. Turn 2 tome. Keep. Love my tome. Love my lands. Even got an extinction event ready. Oh boy. That is usually these days. This nice pretty Jeskai land is usually a sign of Lotus Cobra. And they always have it. Like, they always have Jeskai land, green source, Lotus Cobra. Let the party begin. Oh, that's a good draw. I guess if they play the OMNATH and we extinction event them, we're feeling good. Uh-huh. Alright, I'm going to try, you guys, to play this extinction event. It's risky. We need an untapped land. So let's scry for it. Bingo. Got him. We even got the 3rd blue source for the Gadwick. Oh, this card. We'll have to deal with that. Alright, we have a land we can play. I'm not in a hurry to Cling to Dust this, it's not coming back anytime soon. And you can also Cling to Dust their spells because they don't fill their graveyard very well. Cultivate. Okay. I think we just have to let those things be. And that's something I could cling to draw a card. Palaga recovery targeting what? The Uro? The Uro. Well, didn't want to do this right now, but it makes so much sense, I'm gonna do it. Tearing them apart. Alright, give me stuff to counter. Do it. Thank you. Oh, getting Ugin force spiked. Cringe. Nope. No, absolutely not. None of this will stand. You get nothing, I say, nothing. Nothing. Drawing land is actually perfect right now, because it means once we spend the last of our counter spells, our Gadwick is going to be fire. Nothing. I said no. Your hero continues to fling the blue spells at the deck until it is dead. Let's see, how much you got there? 5, 6, green, blue, blue, green. Let's see, if I counter this, there won't be a window before they can try to bring it back, but we could double counter it, and then Gadwick, and then they're on one card. Yeah? Also, if they make a mistake and pass priority, we can cling it and get clingy. Nope, they're not going to do that.
Then this is my fate.
Nothing. You get nothing. All right, we need a refill so that we have more counters for the next wave, because there's always more. Nice. Don't think I need that verdict. One's enough. And what did you slow roll? Of course! Alright. The battle is still on. They get one card to their hand and a bunch of land to the field. You can see we could have easily lost right there. Oh, nice. Oh, are you salty? Should I feel bad for you? I will not. I will have you know that's not happening. Cards in hand over lands on the battlefield, bro. And scatter. Okay. Okay. I mean, we're just gonna keep doing this then. So be it. A big shark can help us out with Ugin.
Not ignore my draconic talents.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could also make it a 5/5 and have negate. I think that's fine. I don't know what they would have, but maybe they just hit a Brazen Borrower in their deck. So I'm not going to activate my tome. Next turn we can activate the Barons to kill the Ugin. Don't need you. Exile, sure. You're on 6.
Reality is unwritten.
So if they have a proactive play, they want to make it. They don't. Interesting. So now they're stockpiling, I guess? Maybe they have multiple Ugins. So let's not turn this into a creature. We don't want to start a fight on our turn. Cling. Get rid of one of these Uros now. Seems fine. 3 life for me. Good guy control deck, let's go. On God. Alright. Think we've stabilized the situation a bit. Never miss a land. Even when it looks like a sweet spell, do not miss land. You're going to need all of it. No easy answer to that, so we let that resolve. They have plenty of mana. A little extra mana probably won't put them over the top this turn. Shadow's Verdict is looking nice too, because it gets rid of the Uro. Alright, let's draw. And let's dig. Another restoration. Deck size 24. Seems good. The dude is probably thinking, is he really going to cast it? Oh, I will. I don't have to do it this turn, though. I might leave a lot more mana available. Make sure I can keep countering all that you do. Taking my time. No hurry on my part. Cool. Shut it down. Shut it all down. Allow none of this. Go big. Don't be afraid. Alright, 10 cards in the deck to work with. Easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 2 cards. Let's see what these are. Spike Field, Hazard my face. Okay. I couldn't have taken that anyway. Okay. Hold up counters for the top of the deck and start smashing them with the Barons. Have you had enough pain? Leaving the tome on the field is fine. We don't need the life right now, and we might need the card or the scry later with more information, because once we use it one more time, it's gone. Alright, 2-turn clock here. And the opponent... Oh, I'm sorry, do you not like sitting through a whole bunch of stuff going on? So sorry that you're unhappy. Ooh, baby, turn 2 tome. We've got to live long enough to play the Verdict. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is a sweet top of deck card, but... Castle. I think we get the tome down. I think that's better here than being reactive. If the opponent resolves a 2-drop, there's only a few 2-drops that beat us outright. I know you're thinking Lotus Cobra, but if you counter the OMNATH, and you counter like the cards that they want to play with the Cobra, you counter the Uro, it's not as devastating. I think with the opponent not putting pressure on us, let's save the tome. Although I really do want to draw land, don't I? Okay, I'll take a scry. Scry for an untapped. Don't need another one of those. Good scry, good scry. I also could have done the draw step scry, but I didn't want to. I wanted to leave myself the option to hold up counter or draw a card. Drawing a card's always better than scrying if you have the mana. Clearwater Pathway. Sultai? Okay. What am I up against? Well, if we're thinking grindy thoughts, and who doesn't? You gotta like our spot. But we do have 2 sweepers here. Both are decent against Uro, though. Brazen Borrower. What can the opponent do if I counter this? Honestly, though, I'm not that worried about taking a few hits from it. Eventually we'll Verdict or Event, probably. And we have life that we gain from the tome. Like, I'll find a way to deal with this. I don't know what I'm afraid of exactly, because I don't know what the opponent is getting at with their deck, but I do feel okay. Ashiok. Now's not the time. Maybe later. Is that greedy? It's a little greedy, right? This turn cycle we can draw the last card with the tome, gain the life. Next turn cycle we can have neutralize and tome. Yeah, let's wait. Sultai land control. That's how I think of it. And doing nothing. Land for turn is good. Seagate Restoration could be very good. Yeah, that lets us get in their hand. That's key. We'll go for another tome here. How about another Brazen Borrower? Nope. Not yet. Uro. We can exile that from the graveyard. So we could let the opponent have this little rampy moment. Or we could just counter it. And not give them the card or the ramp. Chow's Verdict is looking really good. I guess I want them to fight. Yeah, hello. I hear you. I gotta think about this one. I think we want them to fight. I want them to play something here, and then I can Verdict, get the Uro from the yard, and the Brazen Borrower on the table. Good. No land drops, so they have a juicy hand. I'm going to exile the Neutralize to draw the card, because I'm going to exile the Uro with the Verdict. We do have an untapped land, but it's not one I want to play. So I'm going to try to scry my way to one. Beautiful. Okay, come on, puppy, shut up. Problems solved. We don't have Neutralize open, though. Let's see what the opponent does. They play an Ashiok. That's an annoying one. It's possible I should have been waiting one more turn.
The shadows awaken.
Alright, draw. Gonna need an answer. Another Verdict. How do I damage this Ashiok, though? I could put a huge amount of the deck into the hand. Yeah, I guess we try to draw to Solution. And there is a Fae of Wishes. Do we have a tap land here that we want to play now? I guess another Restoration, but that might even still be useful. Uro, We've got another Shadow's Verdict ready. But we've got to get rid of this. I'm trying to remember what's in my sideboard. Where are you at? Does it work this way? Can I pull it up right now? Sideboard. Crypt, Drown, Feed, Downfall, Duress, Thirst. Thirst can hit it. Eat to Extinction, and Thirst. If the opponent has a counter, though, we are wrecked. Alright, how do I get this off my screen? Oh no! No, get it off! What the heck? Escape. Close. Oh no! No! The heck? What is this? Okay, did it. No! Oh my god. How do I... Go away. Go away. Ooh, my goodness. My freaking goodness, that was something. Okay, they can cast a Gadwick for 0, that's not terrible. I'm thinking if I need to take action this turn or not. What can we fetch? They allow the fetch. Thirst for 4, but we can't back it up with Negate. Actually, none of these we can back up with Negate. And we can't play Shadow's Verdict this turn? Okay, that's kind of bad. Let's take Ugin and just do a full board reset, I think. Can we force Ugin down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next turn we can play Ugin with Negate. So we're going to try to set up for Ugin next turn. I know fetching Ugin can be bad. Let's attack their hand. That way, even if they get 3 spells for free with the Ashiok, we can clean it up. High drama, man. What more could you ask for? All right, they're going for the counter. Let's counter the counter. Shouldn't be enough to bring back Uro. Another restoration and a typhoon. Well, their hand's too small for the restoration to really be great. Let's take the typhoon. We have the other predation in our hand, which means that they can't hit our hand after stealing with Ashiok here. So let's see what they can do. They hit an Essence Scatter, that's not great. They hit 2 Maulings, that's not great. They're going for it. The tome cannot be exiled, so that's a good one. It helps them reload. So that's pretty smart. The Mauling doesn't do anything. Yeah, most of this does nothing. They could grab the Gadwick, but maybe they're scared I'll return it to my hand. No, they're going for it. And my Fae, nice, good choice. Would you like to return it to my hand by discarding 2 cards? That would be hype. Alright, it's on the tome here to draw them another neutralize, but these decks don't usually run very many. Not many counter spells. Probably nothing like a negate. Okay, they're going in for the restoration. They want to tap this. Let's scry with it. Not sure exactly what I'm looking for. I guess land is unnecessary. And they get some cards in hand, but we don't have to play Ugin next turn. We can play Predation, hit their hand, and Shadow's Verdict, hit their board. And I think we will have stabilized out of this spot. We got our opponent to take their own Ashiok off the field, honestly for only a few medium cards. This is good. Like I'm jealous that they got this from me, but otherwise I'm okay with this. Maybe we just leave up neutralize. This part I'm pretty sure about. Now we have lost one of my favorite win cons in Fae, so we do have to figure out how we're going to win the game. But I think a strategy around playing Ugin and protecting it can turn out good enough. Now, I can play the Predation this turn, but I can't hold that up with Neutralize. So let's wait another turn. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, staying ahead. Recovery, trying to recover. In the face of a Cling to Dust. It's kind of crazy, right? If we go for the Cling and it gets countered, do we care? What do they resolve? There's nothing they can... Like, if they tap out and resolve something, Ugin just buries them. I think we go for this. I think it's too much upside if it works. Oh, yeah. It's 3 cards versus a million. Alright, they've got the other Ashiok. We can exile that now.
Creeping, thieving mirage.
And the negate. Alright. Alright, can the opponent get rid of the Ugin if we counter the Thirst? That's the question now. And if they do, how do we win? I think we have to find Crawling Barons at that point. Do we still have an Ashiok? We still have our own Ashiok. That can do the job. They keep on top. It must be a way to kill the Ugin. Careful taps. Actually, do they have enough black? If they have 2 thirsts, they don't have enough black. Unless they have one in hand. That's interesting, right? What you got? Yeah, I think they're... Yep, they don't have enough black. You don't have enough black mana. I'll play around the Disruption, the 1 mana Censor card. That is bizarre to have that many lands on the field and not have enough black mana. And we hit the rope of, this is what my life has turned into. Been there. Begin the lightning bolting of the opponent's face.
Ghostfire, my greatest creation.
Oh, we got a Typhoon. Okay. Baby Shark. And nothing to hit, but there is an Erebos' Intervention. I don't think that's a big problem, though. Let's play the other tome, keep the cards coming. We could exile this with an Extinction event. Yeah, at this point, the opponent's low on resources. We just want... Well, no, as long as Ugin lives, we don't care. We just bolt the shark. All right. Other tome. Just dissecting them. A little at a time. Well, face. Ignore Ugin, go face. Okay. There is something to if I can't stop a shark at instant speed, but these do gain some life, and so does Cling to Dust, potentially. Oh, there's a Mauling. That's an instant speeder. There's the Barons. That's a closer. Coffee's for closers, and that includes you, Crawling Barons.
Consider this a warning.
I could play another Restoration. I think that's pretty extra. But then again, I do love to flex. When I'm playing Control, I do love a good flex. One to the top, one to the bottom. I hope you're enjoying my tome. It's a good book. The CGB Book Club is basically 2 cards, Maze Mine Tome and Jam Day Tome. Look up that old one if you want to go way back in time. For a card I did play in tournaments. We don't want to turn this into a creature. That would make it a target. I like saving this for that Bala Ged recovery. That play was pretty sweet. I wouldn't be surprised if they have more. Land. Bolt. $18 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'd be down to 9 cards in the deck. How? That's so freaking bold. Especially with my Fae Wishes gone, one of my key win cons. And with plenty of counters in hand. It's so unnecessary. It's almost something you'd see me do, though. Opponent is back building, like a Twister. In the movie Twister. It's back building! It's back building Twister. Just getting back into Storm potential. Alright. Opponent is finally off the tome life. Teferi. Okay. Ugin's like, nom.
If nothing else,
That looks tasty.
time to improvise.
Let's draw that card. Let's charge these up. Why not? Still not making a creature anytime soon, though. The time will come for that nonsense. Alright, I don't even want or need Ugin's ultimate. I just want to exile my opponent's toys and just completely control the board with it while I prepare myself to send in a giant Crawling Barrens and counter their hand.
I do love a good puzzle. I was out of sync.
Return to the essence of the multiverse.
If I'm not going to draw the cards with them, I may as well play them. I still want the Ashiok to put some pressure on my opponent in a different way, and then hopefully open up the hit for the Barrens. I don't want to attack with Barrens and then protect it. Okay, we're doing this again. I really don't want to counter this. Let's see what we draw. Disruption. It's not a good one. I still don't want to counter this. It's just not worth it.
All right. Who's ready for a good time? Think fast.
I'll need my counters for other things. 100%. All right, 3 counters. This thing hits for 18. We're getting there. Just bolt here. Next turn we can exile Teferi if that's still a priority.
This a warning.
This being a counter might actually come up in the epic battle that is to come. So, the Maulings take out Sharks. I'm trying to decide which land to play. I guess I'll play you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I don't think my life total is really in question anymore.
Time to improvise.
25 to 14 on the deck size for those of you concerned. Erebos' intervention can kill this, but it's really expensive. No, it can't kill it, but it can keep the opponent alive, I guess you could say. But it's so much that I think that it might be the last gasp from them, so the disruption might be the card that stops it when they pump everything into it. Oh my goodness, it's exciting. It's so exciting. Whoa, dropping off Borrower. Okay, they're really loading up on stuff to fight this fight with the Barrens, as they need to. We also have to exile the Teferi so it can't phase this, right? Or does it say non-land? Target creature. Yeah, so this can hit a creature. Land. Thirst on the Ugin. No. Nope, 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 nope. None of that, please. Is this where the fight will happen? Neutralize the neutralize. Okay. Here is negate. Only 1 blue source left for the opponent. It's looking grim. This This is what happens when I have my whole deck in my hand. I have all of the answers. I also have a smooth 2-color mana base, so I can cast all of my counters. I think the opponent's thinking about firing off the intervention. If they do that, they don't gain life. If they just exile my... Maybe they just want to get rid of Cling to Dust? Okay. So they've got 3 mana left. I've got another Cling. This is fine. They don't gain life. So... Last trick is Uro. Disrupted. All of your mana. Gone. Gone, I say. Alright. So now it's down to me. I have to exile the Teferi, then activate the Barons.
Think fast.
Bye-bye, Teferi. Ugin says, no more. You will not phase my Crawling Barons this way. Okay, they're gonna milk it. They're gonna milk it.
Looks like I'm out of time.
Are too dangerous to roam free.
Final moment of evil. Just cuz. Got him. Goodbye, Sultai. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up on Dimir Controlla, and this has been a 50-50 deck for me. I showed you some of the longer, more interesting games. There are just as many uninteresting games where I play tap land, the opponent resolves something, I can't deal with it. Or I flood out, which is weird considering how many spell lands we have, but if you draw the wrong ones, like Hagra Mauling, while your opponent is casting Genesis Ultimatum after Genesis Ultimatum, then you lose. So, the deck is definitely good at holding its own, but it's so draw dependent, I can't seem to find a reliable edge, and I'm going to keep trying to come up with one. I do think I went overboard on the sweepers, and they might need to be trimmed. Maybe some spot removal will help carry it, because there were definitely times, like against Mono Red, where I'm looking at a hand with Extinction Event, Shadow's Verdict, but they're doing a good job playing one creature at a time, and I can't interact with it cheaply, and bad stuff happens. I don't think the Gadwick is even needed. I never felt like I needed this card. Just get the 4th Restoration in here. Like, that card was sweet, plus it's more land drops. The Wish board in general might be completely unnecessary here if I can learn to be reliant on the Seagate Restoration win con, as well as just a few other ways to torture my opponent. So yeah, I'm going to try to keep working on this. If you want to see me work on it, I think that's what I'll do today on Twitch. Twitch.tv. This would be yesterday at this point, but you should follow me on Twitch. Monday through Thursday, 4 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. That's my stream schedule. It's really fun. Lots of people enjoy it. And yeah, come check it out. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you to Cool Stuff Inc. for sponsoring the channel. Promo code CGB5. Get your Zendikar Rising today. Goodbye.